Welcome to Repat Stories, where we have conversations with persons who return home after being away for many years. Today, we're talking to Dr. Meserete Manassi, who is a Jamaican who went to study for 6 years in the country of Russia. Hi, Meserete.
Hi.
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit more background. So I went to high school with Meserete, and we weren't in the same class, but we're in the same grade. And so I knew her from then, and I just loosely, from social media, knew that she went away to study for a long time, and that's how I came to reach out to her. So she's back in Jamaica now, and we're having this conversation about her time away and her time abroad. So, Meserete, to start, first of all, like about your time in Jamaica growing up, like what was that like?
Well, I'm the last of 4 children from my parents. So growing up, I was really sheltered, you know, the last one, the wash belly, can't go anywhere, protected. So, yeah. I went to Arden Prep.
Oh.
Yeah, so all of us went to Arden Prep. So, yeah, Arden Prep, then Arden High, and then I went to UE.
Wait, pause before you get to you.
Okay.
I'm interrupting you. So, that's in Kingston, but you live in Spanish Town.
Oh, yeah. I live in Spanish Town.
Okay.
All my life. This is where I born and grew.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
So was that, so for a lot of people, when you meet people abroad, or when people meet Jamaicans, even when they meet other Caribbean, people from other Caribbean countries, they'll just say Jamaica.
Oh.
Or they'll say Kingston, because it's easier, people know that. But is that something, was that a question you got a lot when where you're from? Or?
Yeah. Yes and no. Even though I live in Spanish Town, I feel like I spend most of my time in Kingston. So I don't really identify as the Spanish Town badness. Right? I feel like I'm more Kingston than Spanish Town. But yeah, when I tell people where I'm from, I tell them Kingston, Jamaica, but I actually live in Spanish Town.
Yeah.
They don't know where that is, but
right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. So before we get to university, so you told me that your name, I already identified your name, that it wasn't traditional English name. It's an Ethiopian name.
Yeah, it's Ethiopian.
And there's a reason for that, because tell me more about like your parents. And
oh, all right. So my father, he's Rastafarian, so he's big into the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and all of the Rastafarian lifestyle. My mother, on the other hand, she is Seventh-day Adventist. So I don't know. Growing up, it was like, I don't want to say a tug of war, but something like that. Going to church with mommy, and then on Saturday, and then going to church with daddy on Sunday. So that's where the influence from my name came from. His name, should I say his name?
If you want to.
Okay, his name is Crimean, but that wasn't the name he's born with. He did deed poll, change his name. So when I born, he had him Rastafarian name. Dash the Babylon name, get him Rastafarian name, and yeah. So my name, it's Ethiopian. It means foundation of life. Meserete Hiwat means foundation of life. I don't remember what the Manassi means, but yeah. So he changed his name from his Babylon name to his African name.
I think that's so awesome.
Yeah.
And so you were growing up, and it was a good childhood? You had siblings? Was it?
I mean, growing up, I remember having yard space to run up and down, pick fruits, animals, dogs. Always had dogs, cat. I didn't really have much neighbors though, because the community I live in, it's mostly old people. So it was mostly just me and my siblings, and anybody who I interacted with at school. At school, I didn't really talk though. I was kind of shy and reserved. But from early, I was involved in sports. I always had a love for track and field.
Yeah.
So I remember at prep school, I was kind of shy, but I would always see the children training. I was like, I want to, I would tell my father, like, I want to go and, try, right? In my own way, because I remember I was really shy. So I tried out for the track and field team, and I did well. think I did high jump, and I don't remember. I think I ran one of those flat races, maybe 60 meters or something. And I won medals at prep champs.
Yeah.
At prep champs, I won medal in high jump, and I did relay as well. But yeah, I did. I won individual medal in high jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
so that's a big deal. So in Jamaica, we have a strong track and field culture, right? And that results in the track and field prowess that we have now. But from the time we're in what they call elementary, primary prep schools, from you know, grade 6 to 12, we have these championships at the end of each year where all the schools compete. And so to be winning medals at that level, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, that was basically the peak of my track and field career, because when I went to high school, Arden High, my parents weren't really pushing me in that direction. Right? Book. Can't go wrong with your book.
Right.
So I continued track and field at high school, but I wasn't really focusing on it as much. I was just doing it because, you know, you need an extracurricular activity to make it look good on your transcript, and so yeah, I continued. Didn't really focus on it much, but it was something that I enjoyed doing. And yeah, I went to champs still, I ran, but it wasn't any big
but that was a big deal. Like, we weren't close, we didn't really talk, like I didn't have a, you know, what I'd seen passing, but that was still a big deal. Like, you had the commitment to, like, you were like, I would say a staple on the track team for many years when we didn't have that much representation, because we were, even though we had good, like, in the arts and so on, we were still mostly at academic school. So you being there and, like, representing the school, that was kind of a big deal. Even if you weren't, like, medaling, you were like I could remember that, like, you were always training, like for when there was a season, you were training and stuff. So but that's good. So I have a memory from prep school. Like, I used to love track and field so much that when our teachers would ask, what is your ambition in life, I would say, I want to be an athlete. Athlete this and athlete that. That quickly changed because I realized that being an athlete, it takes dedication.
It's a lot of work.
Right? A lot of work putting in behind the scenes to actually be the top of your game. I said, this is not the one for me. I wasn't that dedicated. I love track and field, but not that much. So at Arden High now, I was still figuring out what I wanted to do, because at one point I noticed I loved the languages, Spanish, French. I had a knack for it from early. So I was like, okay, maybe I could be a translator, interpreter. Nah.
No.
I didn't.
Not that much.
Not that much. I loved it, but
for fun, but not for work.
So I also was good at the sciences. So it was between sciences and languages. And I also loved animals from childhood. So I was like, okay, maybe I could do veterinary medicine. So I was like, well, I like animals, but do Jamaicans actually care for the animals as much as I care for my animals? I was like, nah, I don't think that's going to be it for me. So I was like, all right, if not animal medicine, human medicine. So I was like, all right, let's pursue being a medical doctor of humans. So I basically channeled all my energy into achieving that goal. So in terms of like what I would think I would want to specialize in, at that time I said sports medicine, because, you know, that's really in my wheelhouse. My interest. Sports medicine, orthopedics, I'd see myself doing that. So I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but I'm trying to see if, you know, getting some experience in that field, that area, to see if that is something that I would really see myself doing.
As opposed to just starting it. A lot of people start it and they realize, I do not like this. So no, that was smart at that time. So okay, so then you went to UE.
After Arden, I went to UE. I spent 3 years there. I did animal biology, right? I did animal biology in what was known as pure and applied faculty at that time. It's now science and technology. So what I was trying to do was finish my degree there, then get a transfer to go into medical sciences faculty. That didn't work out, and God knows why, because I couldn't have afforded that tuition at all. So after I finished UA, completed my degree, I don't know. I knew that that wasn't it for me. So I tried to find other opportunities to pursue how to become a medical doctor. So I've always heard about people going to China, Ukraine, Russia, Cuba to pursue medicine. So I did my research. I just started with people who I know over there, and yeah.
Well, so it wasn't that you wanted to leave Jamaica per se.
That was the ultimate last thing that I wanted. I really just wanted to stay in my bubble, what I'm familiar with. I'm the last one, always sheltered. I do not want to leave the comfort of what I'm familiar with.
Right.
That was the last thing that I wanted to do. So at some point I had to say, like, well, Mez, is either you leave or stay here. And
Russia though?
Yeah, alright. How I've even found out about Russia was, the opportunity to go to Russia was so, I just look back and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember after I finished my degree at UA, I immediately started researching China, researching scholarships, Russia scholarships, Ukraine scholarships, Cuba scholarships. I was just basically on Ministry of Finance's page looking just what I qualified for. So I knew of a couple people studying in China, Jamaicans studying in China, studying in Russia, studying in Ukraine. So I reached out to them, asking them what their experience was like, if they would recommend it for somebody, knowing what they go through, if they would recommend it for somebody else, and what it's, living there, food, is it expensive, just general things to see if I could do it too. So, yeah. So when okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I did my research, and I think while doing my research, I saw an article in the newspaper. It was one of our fellow schoolmates, Tashe Smith. She's practicing in Jamaica as well. She was studying in Ukraine at the time, and she did an interview that came out in I don't remember, I think it's Gleaner. And she was explaining her experience there and when she left and how it's going for her. And I was like, wait, wow, I need to reach out to her because I know her. Right? Let me just reach out to her too, because I didn't know that she was there at the time.
Got you.
So I reached out to her as well, and she was explaining the whole process of applying to her school and all of that. So I was like, all right. I was in the middle of, reaching out to her school to gain entry and all of that. And a family friend, she was passing University College of the Caribbean. They had a partnership with the school that I ended up going to in Russia. So they were advertising, they had a poster at their fence, and they were advertising a partnership with Kursk State Medical University, like what you call it? Like a bridging program.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the first year you do it at UCC, and it's like
Then you move over.
Yeah, a channel for you to go
Understood.
over to Russia to continue your studies. So what they will teach you there is the foundation courses, Russian, biology, chemistry, foundation.
The things you need, foundation.
So I was like, wow, let me, inquire further and find out what is going on here. So I called, did I call? Either way, whether I called or I went down there with physically, I found out more about the program, the course that they were offering. And it was the first time offering it ever. I was going to be one of the first students, basically. So seeing that it was a fresh program, I think it was just me and 2 other people who reached out and expressed interest in the program. So because the uptake was so little, they basically changed their mind and said that, all right, they want to just send us.
Just send you straight.
Yeah, just make arrangements to send us straight over there because it would be profitable for them to have only three students and whatever. So I was like, all right. So when they presented that offer to us, I was the only one who was still with it. Yeah, the only one. The other 2, they said it's fine. They're not interested anymore. So I was the only one who took up the offer to actually continue.
Can I stop you for a second? Are you naturally brave? Are you normally someone who will try things without people, like if there isn't a crowd following?
Not. So you're asking me if I'm a trendsetter?
Yeah, it's kind of 2 different questions because there's one about like trends and there's also one about just you as like being brave and adventurous in a sense.
Naturally, no. I wouldn't describe myself as being like an outgoing person. I think I'm more introverted. So I don't know. I think my time at UWI, that 3 years that I spent there was actually crucial in helping me to build my confidence and people skills and somewhat be more fearless. And at that point, I had to really take control of my future. It was either stay in Jamaica or take the opportunity that was presented at me. And let me just say, why I really had to take this opportunity was because the tuition, it was not a scholarship.
Yeah.
The tuition was much more affordable than if I was supposed to pursue medicine at UWI.
Yeah.
So
you gave me a figure, like you said, it was like 3 times like the amount of years.
Yeah.
Like
the tuition for 1 year in Russia would be. No, you said
the tuition for 1 year at UWI would have been multiple years at Russia.
Yes.
For the whole year.
My whole 6 years at Russia could be covered by one tuition for the year at UWI. Yeah. So I was like, this is a no-brainer.
Right.
And seeing that it was so affordable, I was like, wait, it must be a catch. But I researched it. The medical school was accredited. The facilities were up to standard. So it's not like...
Yeah, that it was substandard or it was a scam or something.
Yeah, it's just more affordable there.
So, and that was like, because normally they charge international students more. That was still the international...
That was the international student rate. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it might be more now, but...
No, of course. But still, really, but also the tuition then for you is more now.
No, true.
So it still works out. So I think that's... I mean, not that you need my commendation and it's gone, but I admire that you were brave enough to take that chance at the time. Yes, you were trying to go and make your career and whatever, and you had to, but literally you saying having to take charge and like, especially someone who's a little bit more withdrawn, like reserved, I should say, like that was a big step.
It was. I mean, I had my concerns as well, going to a totally foreign place, right? No black people.
Yeah.
My parents had concerns as well.
Yeah.
But I did my research. I wasn't just jumping up and at the first thing.
Yeah.
So stuff that I would research was like the political climate. I know at the time when I was getting ready to go over there, there was some war with Crimea going on, and I was like, wow, the way how they paint the picture of it on BBC and CNN is like civil war out to break out.
Yes.
So I was like, wow, well, I don't know, maybe not. But that didn't really stop me, because I was like, okay.
And I think that's such an important point about how international relations and how countries that control popular media, if they paint a picture, not to say it's not really happening, right? But if they paint a picture, if that's all they talk about, CNN, that is their thing. So they will run a story 24 hours for the day, right? And that is only happening in one particular. Russia is it the largest country? It's the largest country in the world, right? It is larger than China. It's a huge, it's almost most of the continent of Europe, right? And so when you're seeing in the news that they're talking about this thing 24 hours for the day, you think, wow, that is all that it is. I can't go there. Yeah. But really and truly, as we'll talk about in a little bit, you were in your own bubble in this university doing your thing, and you went and came back in one piece. You know?
Exactly. So in addition to that, I was looking up like the weather, the food, racism. Yeah, because I was always heard that Russia is very racist and blah blah blah.
Okay.
But remember, I knew people who were over there. Yeah. So I asked them, what is that like? And they said, no, it's nothing for you to worry about. They don't experience that. Well, not to the extent that they make it seem. Right. Right? So I was like, all right, I can do this too. If you can do it, I can do it too. Yeah. So, yeah, I did everything that I needed to do, get all my documents ready. Yeah. So, all right. So you're preparing to go there, and yes, you're preparing from a side like, am I gonna be okay? You're gonna be okay. But what do you bring? Like, how many were you like a 2-suitcase person? Or you had 3? What was essential for you to bring? Woo. All right, so when I was going over there, it was in the heart of winter. I went there in February of 2015. Okay. Right, February 2015. So heart of winter. So I had gotten, stuff like preliminary stuff to just start me off, like a winter jacket, boots, thick socks, sweaters. I had those from before, so that wasn't really what I was worried about. But what I had in mind, carry those and then start from there. Buy what I needed there. Okay, fair. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Wait, so you said you left in 2015, but when did you leave UE? I left UE in 2013. So in that time, that was like 2 years. In that time, did you work? Or was all of this still, you knew? When did the application process start for Russia? Oh. Between 2013 and 2015, I had been working at a veterinary clinic. Remember, I had a degree in animal biology, so I was kind of putting it to use, but I knew that wasn't really what I wanted to do. Gotcha. So I think I found out about the program at UCC in 2014. Okay. Or was it 2013? I knew that when I found out about it, I immediately applied, but it was kind of delayed because remember we were trying to enroll for 2014, but that fell through because it was low turnout. Okay. So it was even delayed further. I think we had to push it until February 2015. Okay. So I think we were working towards enrollment for September 2014. But that couldn't work. Okay. Yeah. So my school in Russia, they have intake 2 times a year, in February and in September. Okay. So the closest time for me to go was in February 2015. Okay, I understand. Thank you. Now just
realizing that there was a little time.
Yeah,
so
there
I was
was
curious
some
about the time.
time.
So I think that's important for people to know, because you're pursuing your dream, and sometimes it doesn't always line up one. Like there's a little space in between, you know. So and some people in that time, they say, no, I'm not going to bother. Like if it take too long, they say just forget it, just scrap it.
Yeah.
You know, but there's a little bit more of that perseverance there, you know. So okay, cool. So you're doing this thing to Russia. At the time, can you remember what it cost for a flight, and how did you get, like, did you have to go to the US first, or?
Oh, okay. So in terms, before we even reached on the flight, there were some things that my school had to send to me and liaise with the Russian embassy in Jamaica. So they had to send me an invitation letter for me to get the visa to go to Russia. And with that, I had to get a Russian visa, I had to get a US visa.
Really?
Yeah, this would be my first major, not my
Outside
first,
of the US,
but
Jamaica?
my first time traveling
Outside of Jamaica?
by myself.
Or by yourself?
I've traveled before to Canada, but you know, that was when I was much younger with my mother. So that's not really count. This was my first major solo flight experience.
And you're going all the way to Russia?
All the way to Russia, me and God.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to get all those preliminary stuff out the way, and I remember the time to get those things was so tight. It was so close, and I was like, oh my God, is it going to work out? It was so close. So I got my Russian visa in time. I think I got it in maybe this third week of January. I remember I was leaving February. Ticket done, book already, you know. Ticket book already, you know. So I had booked my appointment for the US visa, transit visa, and I remember I think I was supposed to be traveling the following week, and I went to that interview. I was nervous as hell, and I was like, well, I don't have anything to hide. And my mother spoke to me and she said, I don't know what you're panicking for, you know. Them have to give you that thing. So when I went there, they asked me, you know, they asked you what's the purpose of traveling. Then they never really asked me much questions, because everything that I said, it matched out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They saw the Russian visa in my passport already. And
you had the UA degree already.
They see my invitation already. So really, I think I was just in my head, panicking for no reason. So at the time when they said, all right, they gave me the slip and said, all right, they took my passport, and you know, like she was telling me I can leave now. So I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be traveling next week. Can I get that expedited? You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, she was like, okay. And she gave me a next slip.
Okay.
And I think I collected my passport, I think it's a day before I was supposed to travel. Man.
Oh my gosh. Nerves.
It was really close. It was so close. And
traveling already just brings a sense of anxiety. But then when it's just like, oh my goodness.
When I'm
you must have slept a good sleep when you got on that plane.
No.
You never sleep?
That is not the time to sleep. I am naturally somebody who likes to plan ahead, very organized.
Yeah.
All of this last minute, cutting it close thing, it was giving me, my nerves couldn't handle it. So I am just glad that everything, looking back, it actually worked out. Because trust me, in the heat of it all, it was not, it was not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so got the visa, got my passport. Bag done pack already, you know, because remember
you have to be prepared.
Because remember ticket booked from a long time, you know. I had to show all of those proof of that I'm traveling, that this is serious. Anyway, so and I had to book it from earlier because I wanted a good price.
Got you. Can you remember what it was at that time approximately? Was it $1,000? Was it less than $1,000?
No, man. It was about 1,200 US.
At that time?
At that time.
Wow.
And in terms of the transit, I left from Jamaica. I think I went to New York. The layover in New York was 11 hours. 11 hours, me and 2 big suitcases.
Wow.
And I was so tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, you've always been petite.
Yeah, always been petite. Boy, may I tell you, me and 2 suitcases and a big hamper on my back, going through JFK airport.
Oh my gosh. And that's a good walk through depending on where you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But me, remember, it was my first time traveling solo. I had to be so alert and vigilant and all of that. I never get no.
You must have been so tired.
I was so exhausted.
Are you a coffee drinker?
No.
So what did you do? It's like you're tired, but you're also the nerves keeping you up.
Yes. But
oh my gosh.
the thing about it is that when I was traveling, JFK, you know, the Caribbean presence is very big there.
Yeah, true. So you could ask for help.
Yeah, like even help was offered to me. Because I remember there was this flight, I don't know if he's a flight attendant or what. He works with Delta Airlines. I don't remember his name, but God, wherever you are, God bless you. He offered to buy me some food, like breakfast. And I was like, "You hungry, don't?" I was like, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "Come." And he buy me, I think it was egg and something. And I eat, and I was like, "Thanks," and thing. And he was like, "No worry, man." All the way from me. Yeah, all the way from here. So I said, thanks. Yeah, so that was like one of those.
That's one thing about Jamaica. So when you go places, they're looking out for you. And
always.
It's a rough thing because I think Jamaicans are rough because their situation is rough, not because they're naturally just mean people. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so you made it. So you went through all of that. So when you get on the flight now.
Okay, so the 11-hour layover in JFK, when I actually got on the flight, that flight was about 9 hours, close to 10 hours.
To go where?
I said I sleep, I wake up. I sleep, I wake up. I sleep, I wake up.
Still there.
And I'm still in the air. No sign of even landing. I was like, Lord have mercy. Anyway, finally landed. I remember touching down that first time in Russia. Like I looked through the window and I was like, wow, this is real. It's real now. I saw snow. That was my first time experiencing snow. Through the plane window, I saw the snow. I saw the flight, the air traffic controllers doing all of that. And it was, I think I was the only black person on the flight. If I wasn't the only black person, maybe I was one of 2.
Yeah.
I remember there was this black man. And I was, you know, you see your black face. You may look for me. Yeah. So I was like, all right. And when we came off the plane, I think when I traveled, it was the pandemic that was going on was Ebola. It was during the Ebola time.
Oh my goodness.
So
you experienced 2 pandemics abroad. We'll come to go.
Listen,
you saw that.
Yeah, so it was in Ebola time, and the Russians, they just went through. I think not that they judge you by your skin color,
but they did.
Yeah,
they did.
They did.
Because why, if the Russians come in on the same JFK flight from you as you, they're coming from the same place?
Yeah, so I remember waiting in the immigration area, and I don't know. I was just waiting. I was like, I remember I was talking to my mother on the phone, like texting her, and I was like, why? Them have me sitting here how long? I don't know. Suppose them send me back. I was just thinking so negative because I'm like, Jesus and peace. I come this far and they're going to send me back. They're going to send me back. They're going to send me back. But no, they never really. They just checked to see if my visa checked out.
Okay.
And I think they were educated enough to know that Jamaica is way far from any African country. So they never really...
Got you. But let's have to look. Let's make it sweat a little bit. Let's make it sweat. I think that's 9 out of 10. The things is like, let's just hold them. They do it a lot in the US, in like Miami. Let's just hold them and see if they sweat. If they start talking, if they start doing things. If they did something bad, they're going to out themselves. Got you. Okay, so you're there and you come off the plane. Do you notice anything different? So you know, well, it was winter for you, your first, but did it smell different? Was there anything you remember about it or not really? You were just like...
I just remember... I don't remember any smell. I just remember stepping outside of Sheremetyevo Airport and the cold boxed me in my face. That's what
Yeah.
I remember.
Was it? It was cold. Was it? Were you dressed that you could feel it through, or
No,
you
man.
the winter jacket?
I was properly
dressed,
clothed
Okay.
in my winter attire.
Yeah.
Scarf, gloves,
boots,
boots
everything.
with insulated boots, you know, with
Yeah.
socks. Yeah, I was properly clad.
But the on your face, you
Yeah.
can't hide the face. 'Cause you have to.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so somebody had to come. I arranged for somebody to pick me up.
Okay. University?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they sent someone. That's awesome because it can be hard to navigate with the suitcases the first time. You don't know the language, all of these things. So that would have been good.
I have a picture of my first selfie ever.
Yeah.
Right outside of Sheremetyevo. I look so tired. My eyes underneath them black. I never.
You were
sleep.
running on E. Because
Yeah.
from before, from your interview,
Yes.
the stress of it, everything, making sure you don't forget everything. I believe it.
Cortisol levels on high.
I believe it.
The whole time through. So
I believe it.
that was the first time when I actually, not a familiar face, but somebody who was there for me. I was like, all right, I can
relax now.
relax a bit.
I don't have to be as vigilant.
And it wasn't just me alone that they were picking up. They were picking up other students who were going to Kursk State Medical. So, yeah.